Hello everyone, thank you for coming to my channel. For this video, I would like to make some comments as an ordinary citizen of this country, Malaysia, with regards to the moral and legal questions concerning the Najib house arrest addendum. Now, so far many things have been said by this issue or about this issue of the royal addendum concerning the house arrest of Najib Tun Razak. Of course, the parties that is now harping on this issue is saying that the unity government has purposely hidden and has been acting in an immoral way to negate the power of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, and it seems that the unity government may not seem to be loyal to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, the previous one. So this is being played up very much, and I think most of these people are more interested in painting the idea that the unity government is somehow in cahoots with non-Malays with regard to this issue, because by hiding the addendum, then they are being in one sense disloyal. So this is being played out. The other thing, of course, is the UMNO people, who some of them would love to have Najib freed, and some of them would also have Najib being in house arrest so that they could create a newer and a better picture or image of UMNO. So this is again another narrative that is being played out. Now in this video, I would like to look at the question in a legal matter first, from what I understand from what has been written, and then also I would like to then go over to the moral question of what should we then accept from the possibilities that can happen after this. So if we were to look at this legal aspect, I only have to rely on a few readings, and one of the readings is by G.K. Ganesan, who is a most respected lawyer, and I always love to listen to his YouTube videos explaining very clearly about law. I think he has excellent way of explaining, full of facts, full of interesting anecdotes, full of information. I mean, the man is better than any professor I know. So he says, can King or Pardons Board insert addendum into pardon? And his answer is clearly no, because he is interpreting the Constitution in this manner. He said pardons cannot be granted in installment. The Constitution does not allow house arrest orders, and no such precedent exists. So for him, number one, that the king must follow the Pardons Board. See, the king must comply with the Pardons Board's advice. So according to him, and it seems logical, because why have the Pardons Board if the king can make unilateral decisions and just pardon anybody like that? Why would you need a Pardons Board? You may probably need a Pardons Board Secretariat, meaning the board would then bring some of these cases, and then the king would just decide on his own. But according to him, that the king must act in accordance with the Pardons Board advice. Now, what does that mean? So again, to him, it is very clear that it must be a collective decision, or it is a decision that has been agreed upon by the Pardons Board, which comprises the king and several members of the government. The other issue he raised is that there is no such thing as house arrest in Malaysia. So how can we implement something in this situation? Actually, there's also another third thing, which is why the addendum rather not in the minutes of the meetings of the pardon board, meaning the addendum was something of an afterthought or something that is outside of the pardon board meeting. And how can you implement this? And Saifuddin has already shown that in his letter of instructions from the pardons board, there is no mention of house arrest. So how are we going to do this if it is not part of the minutes? So that is one view that ordinary Malaysians like me have to contend with. The other one is by this Muhammad Hanif Khatri, who in a forum and also in several speeches says the Agong's power is absolute. You cannot argue with the Agong, and he says that the Agong can basically decide to pardon the prisoner in whichever manner, I think, that he feels should be, I guess. This is what maybe he's implying. And so that should not be questioned anymore. So the idea of whether there is such thing as a house arrest or not is not really discussed. And this is something that means that the Agong, being a person who is wise as well as educated and understands the constitution like the back of his hand, would definitely understand his own instruction. So as a simple Malaysian citizen of this country, what are we supposed to do here? We have one view from Ganesan, another view from this Muhammad Hanif Khatri. How are we supposed to react in this dilemma? Now, for me, we come now to the moral question. After looking at the so-called legal issues, what is the moral question here? Again, one aspect of the moral question is that it is a very difficult thing for the government. People are saying that they are hiding it. For me, I can understand why they may not have divulged the information if they had known. And of course, many people are saying that, of course, the government knows. But having a situation where it is a problem in the legal interpretation of the Constitution, would it have been wise for the government to actually put it out? And so their decisions perhaps not to put it out, not to hide, but not to put it out, in my opinion, is the right one, because there is no, it would probably bring a constitutional crisis and also loss of faith with the rakyat. And I can understand if their reluctance or the AG's reluctance to actually put it out. And this is, I guess, the buck stops with the AG. How does he interpret it? And because there was no instruction to the prison department, we can see the decision has been made to hold off perhaps this addendum until it is better clarified. Now, the other moral question is that how will this pan out? How are we going to accept a decision when the courts decide that the addendum actually exists? At the moment, the court has only given permission or leave for the Najib team to have another sitting in the court to show the addendum very clearly and then to discuss whether it must be implemented or not. This is as far as I understand what the information that I've gotten from YouTubes like Iswardi, Morni, Lokman Nur Adam, and also others. So this is the situation, and let's say that the house arrest is given, and what is this implication about this house arrest? Now, from what I gather from some information that I get, because I don't know what house arrest means, it says that the house arrest, most important to me, can the person in house arrest use the telephone as well as the internet. Now, it would be very hurtful to many Malaysians to find Najib, who loves taking selfies with people and then having people see him eat nasi lemak or nasi asam pedas and things like that, and then he's supposed to be in prison. And so one of the internet information that I gather, it says that you're not allowed to use the handphone and the internet, and I'm okay with that. Then the other question is that can Najib receive visitors? Meaning if he's in the house, then he can have access to his wife, children and grandchildren all the time. According to the internet information, it says you are restricted. You're just in your house. So if there is a once a week visitation, then that is supposed to be the way. And I'm also okay with that. Then I asked the question, how far can the person goes outside of the house with an ankle bracelet? It says that around 150 feet, which isn't that far. So I guess that is also okay with me. Now, if the government were to have this kind of rule, then for me, morally, I would accept that. But if he is able to see people anytime he wants and use the internet, then it is not really much of a prison idea to me, as talking as a citizen. So I assume that the government will probably implement this after the courts have found that the house arrest is valid in terms of its existence. Then that is why perhaps the House bill is being proposed to have this concept of house arrest, because before this we do not have this condition of house arrest. So with the presence of this house arrest, then I am looking at the possibility that Najib will be granted a house arrest. Hi everybody, if you would like to own my book and have my signature as well as a personal note from me, please follow the instruction. Thank you. Now, one final question is about the whether the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Ibrahim, the present one, will give full pardon. Now that one, I don't think we should speculate. That is up to the Sultan Ibrahim. But I feel that somehow this house arrest is going to come by. And for me, it has nothing to do with whether the government was hiding the addendum or not. It is an important legal question, and the legal question will be decided by the courts. And I think as a citizen, I'm willing to sit down and listen and wait for the court's deliberation whether the house arrest is valid or not, under the idea that it was not part of the Pardons Board meeting, and also that because we do not have house arrest. But once the bill for house arrest has been passed, whatever the decision then may no longer be relevant with regards to that. And so it comes to the position of whether the Agong's decree is absolute, or his decree needs to be part of the pardon process. According to another news of Sultan Ibrahim saying that all pardons must go through the Pardons Board, that becomes also another issue. So as a rakyat, my conclusion here is that I am willing to listen to the court's deliberation on the validity of the addendum, which is the house arrest. And I am also acceptable if house arrest is granted by the courts or by the government, and if the house arrest is within the condition that it was stipulated in the internet information, then for me I can live with that. But if the house arrest then is negated, which I don't think will happen, then that is also another thing. But for me, we in this country must give our trust to the government to do the right thing, and not speculate on the idea of disloyalty or betrayal and all these issues, because things happen. There are a lot of things, what we call gray areas, that we need to, well, we can give our opinion, but I think we need to wait and look at the deliberations and the decisions and the actions without being prejudicial in the idea that we are being betrayed by the government or anybody for that matter. I think this is a learning process for all of us, and I think the best thing to do is to be patient and to trust in our leaders to do the right thing. And of course, if we want to make comments, we must be very clear, as well as to be with full decorum and not to create certain unrest for the country with regards to this new issue that has arisen. So with that, thank you very much for coming on and listening to my video. Hello everyone, my name is Professor Dr. Muhammad Tajuddin, and I have written a book called Not the Islam I Know. This book is a compilation of many of my writings over the past 15 years with regard to what is called Islamic issues.
If you would like to own my book and have my signature as well as a
the main
personal
intention of
note
the
from
book
me,
is
please
actually
follow
to show
the instructions.
that many
Thank
of
you.
the practices, perspectives, values, and actions of most Muslims may not be the same, or is usually not the same as the teachings represented by the tradition of the Prophet Muhammad through the Hadith and the Quran, from my own perspective of understanding it. Now, I hope you would be able to understand Islam a bit better, so that you would differentiate between the practices of Muslims in their political and social context with regards to the differences to the actual teachings of the Prophet Muhammad itself.